All right, let's talk about a holiday classic that can either be absolutely amazing or, kind of disappointing. Today, we're going to make sure yours is the unforgettable kind. We're going to dive into exactly what it takes to make perfect homemade eggnog from scratch.
You know that feeling, right? You're at a holiday party, you see the punch bowl of eggnog, you get all excited, and then you take a sip, and it's just okay. Well, we are going to solve that problem for good.
And this really says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the stuff you buy in a carton, usually thin, syrupy, and just way too sweet. But on the other side, that's our goal. That's a real deal. Rich, velvety, authentic, and just perfectly balanced.
Okay, so like any great recipe, it all starts with the foundation. Before we even dream of turning on the stove, we've got to get all our tools and our ingredients lined up and ready to go. Here are our building blocks, and I find it helps to think of them in groups. First, you've got your creamy base. That's the milk and heavy cream. Then you've got the rich core, the heart of it all, the egg yolks and sugar. And yeah, you are saying that number of yolks correctly. And finally, just a little bit of cinnamon to give it that perfect, warm holiday spice.
Let's just stop and appreciate this for a second. 10. 10 large egg yolks. I promise you, this is not a typo. This right here is the absolute secret to that incredible richness, that velvety texture we're after. This is what separates pretty good eggnog from truly unforgettable eggnog.
All right, now we get to the heart of the recipe, making that beautiful custard. I know this is the part that can seem a little intimidating, but honestly, it's all about technique, and we're going to break it down into super simple, totally achievable steps. First up, a key term you're going to need is scald. All this means is heating up your milk until you see these tiny little bubbles forming right around the edge of the pan. You're not boiling it, you're just getting it hot enough to do its magic in the next step.
The whole cooking process really comes down to these 3 keys. First, you're going to whisk those yolks and sugar together for a few minutes until they get really thick and turn a pale yellow color. Then comes the most important technique of all, tempering. By slowly, and I mean slowly, whisking in some of that hot milk, you're gently warming up the eggs so they don't turn into scrambled eggs. Nobody wants that. And finally, you'll cook the whole thing gently, stirring constantly, just until it's thick enough to coat the back of a spoon.
So, our flavor base is built. The hardest part is officially over. Now it's time to bring it all home. This final stage is all about cooling that custard down the right way and finishing our eggnog. Now, to get that perfectly smooth, silky texture, how you cool it is critical. The second it's thick enough, you pull it off the heat and stop the cooking by stirring in that cold, heavy cream. Then you're going to pour it through a sieve into a bowl that's sitting in an ice bath. This cools it down fast and guarantees it's lump-free. Once it's chilled, all that's left is to stir in the rest of your milk. Okay, the main work is done. But now we get to the fun stuff, the pro tips. These are the little secrets from the recipe that are going to take your eggnog from great to absolutely show-stoppingly perfect. Here's the first secret, and it's a simple one, but it really matters: the quality of your spice. The original recipe specifically calls out Penzeys Vietnamese cinnamon, and for good reason. It just has the best, warmest flavor. It's one of those tiny details that makes a massive difference in the final product. Now, this next tip is going to save you from a moment of panic. When you pour the custard through that sieve, you're going to see most of the ground cinnamon gets left behind. Don't worry, that is totally okay. It's supposed to happen. The cinnamon has already done its job and infused all that delicious flavor into the custard. And here are 2 final pieces of kitchen wisdom. First, when you're scalding the milk, use a good heavy-bottomed pot. This is going to help prevent scorching because, believe me, burnt milk is a flavor you just can't hide. And second, make sure the pot you cook the final custard in is totally clean. You want that pure, unadulterated flavor to shine through. So you've followed the steps, you've used the pro tips, and all that effort is about to pay off in the most delicious way possible. It is time to serve your masterpiece. You've got options here. You can go big and serve it chilled from a beautiful punch bowl if you have a crowd, or for a cozier vibe, just pour it into individual glasses. And of course, a little extra sprinkle of cinnamon right on top for garnish. That's always a good idea. And there you have it. You now have the complete blueprint for a truly spectacular, unforgettable holiday eggnog. So really, the only question left to ask is, are you ready to start your new favorite holiday tradition?